Yeah, you've read the title, and I guess this seems a bit random and you probably are a little bit confused, but I don't know, this has been brewing in my mind for a while. So basically, I just really don't want to continue the main channel anymore. And in a moment, I'll explain all my reasoning behind it. And I know without a doubt that you guys will understand, because you guys are very understanding people. But the grind to Radiant and the YouTube channel and the series and the weekly uploads, basically just not keen on it anymore. I do though want to preface that this is not at all a mission failed, give up kind of thing. It's just a pivot that needs to happen, and I'm walking away with not only the same ambitions that I had from the start, which was mental, physical, emotional, and financial health, but I'm also carrying forwards all the new skills and experiences that I've gotten from grinding as hard as humanly possible for the last 56 weeks. The plan is to take back not only all the hours that I was sinking into Valorant, but also all the brain power and willpower and all that kind of stuff. Everything that I was putting towards becoming a professional Valorant player and actually competing at the highest level possible. I'm going to take all of that back and then reinvest it into actually reaching the goals that I set from the beginning. Basically, I just actually want to align my life with the things I'm working towards. And if you guys remember when I took a 2-week break from Valorant, stating it was the happiest and most fulfilled I'd ever felt in my life and that things were really, really good. Basically, I just want to rebuild that. I was building my coaching business. I was not grinding any comp. I had the time to spend with friends and family. I was able to get on top of all the things I wanted to get on top of, like the gym, the diet, everything like that. It was really good. And I had so much mental space to do all of that because I wasn't grinding comp. And basically, yeah, since that, I've been trying to chase that. And just as long as comp is around, I don't feel like it's possible. But let me explain why it's not possible, because otherwise it's just going to annoy people, right? We got to understand what's actually going through my mind. And the first thing is the ADHD medication. I've been on ADHD medication for about 2 years now, and they were kind of just thrown at me by a psychiatrist. So I went and I asked for help. I was like, guys, my brain is like all over the place. And they didn't really say much. They told me I have ADHD, and then they gave me ADHD meds. And I think that's the story of most people that end up on them. I didn't realize how dependent you become on them and all the side effects they come with until I guess my 2-year journey. I kind of looked back on it and I was like, man, these are not for me. These are not for me at all. And I just want to get off them. All the diet problems and the weight problems that I've been struggling with are directly caused by the medication. The quality of my sleep has always tanked it as well, just because that's the nature of the medication. Even when things are really routine and structured, I'm just not falling as deeply asleep as I could be, and that always adds up. They come with heart problems, blood pressure problems, and they always add this unnecessary intensity to everything that I just don't want. And it's probably why we had so many instances throughout the journey where my inability to stop and rest was holding me back, because that's kind of the mindset they put you in. The world is ending and you just got to find the solution to it. You know what I mean? There's just like, you're never like relaxed and present in the moment. There's always just something to think about. And that's probably why I am always considered the overthinker. Because yeah, since lowering my dosage, which I have been doing, like I feel way more relaxed and content and not questioning as many things, which is so much better. Overall, it just feels really unhealthy. And that's why I made the decision that I'm going to slowly taper off 10 milligrams every single month, just until I'm down to 0, and then just really learn about who I am at my core. Now, why I can't do this on camera while grinding Valorant and, you know, going along with the progression, because that's technically all a part of it. Well, the first thing is that they just directly tamper with my cognition. So while I'm withdrawing off of these medications, I'm just not thinking straight or clearly in the slightest. Not at all in comparison to what I was, and not at all in comparison to what my baseline is, even if we take meds out of the equation altogether. Me, default is here. Me on meds is here. Me withdrawing off of meds is down here. So I'm just like really in this just mental dark void of, you know, perpetual confusion and despair. No, I'm kidding. But like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's not me. I'm not thinking properly. And that's going to impact our Valorant journey. That's going to impact everything that I have to work on. And when you think about the nature of what I'm doing, which is grinding to become the best possible player that I can be, I'm competing against plenty of people that aren't suffering from withdrawals and aren't, you know, struggling with this kind of stuff and are grinding all day, every day. And I feel like even with the time that I was putting in, when I was medicated all the time and I could just grind all day, every day, having to manage the YouTube channel and having to manage the business and having to manage my social life and my health and all that kind of stuff, I still as is am not competing with the best of the best players who are putting in all the hours in the world. So now, 6 months of ADHD med withdrawals where half my day is just rendered borderline useless, I'm definitely not going to be able to keep up with them, and that's only going to cause a lot of guilt and mental pressure while trying to keep up with them. It's just not going to be healthy for my mind. It's going to be demoralizing. I'm going to probably end up being like, oh, nah, I should go and have my meds again while I'm grinding, and I won't commit to it, you know what I mean? Because technically if I just have the meds, all that goes away. This creates a bit of a stalemate for the YouTube channel, because now the decision is, do we keep all the main core issues that we've got, stress, diet, heart problems, all sorts of things, like do we keep these issues, or do I go through the med withdrawals to get rid of them? But now the grind almost feels like it's at a complete halt, and my brain just can't keep up with the competition required to perform at the highest level. Either way, the series just takes a huge plummeting dip, and it's just not gonna be what people want it to be. Once again, more pressure that comes back on me and makes the whole process of getting through the withdrawals in the first place so much harder. What I'd rather do is take out the comp and the YouTube associated with it and take back the brain power and willpower that I would normally put towards that, and instead reinvest it into making this journey that I'm going on a lot easier and a lot more possible. And by focusing on specifically coaching and doing what I'm good at, not only am I leaning into my strengths and not going against the grain at all, but I'm also able to take all that pressure off myself and just work at my own pace, work at a pace that I feel like I'm capable of working at. Sitting with my thoughts, I kind of realized how far-fetched my dreams actually were in the first place, considering the IRL RNG that I've been given. The main thing is the location at which I'm based, surprisingly, Australia. If we think about the journey of an Australian pro player, it's not like that of an NA-EU player. If you take a look at some of the main events that we have here in Australia, the first place prize is like, it's like 9,000 USD or something crazy like that, and that is split across an entire team. Like, there's no prize pools in Australian tournaments. More specifically, not nearly enough money to survive off, and not nearly enough money to justify grinding for. What it means is that I must travel to go and compete. Hence why I was like, okay, I got to learn Chinese, because then I can play with the Chinese teams and I have access to more potential prize pools. And then the second best option is going to the EU NA regions, playing in America, and go to the Greek islands or something, play some Valorant. But either way, I've got to travel, and I've got no choice but to travel. Those that know me well know that I've got a really good relationship with my partner, and we've been building this over the last 5 years, and to take her away from her family and take it to China, especially if she doesn't even speak the language and somehow I end up learning it, or to go to the other side of the world in America or Europe, when it doesn't make sense for her at all. It's like, it's not something that I can see myself ever doing or ever wanting to do. It just doesn't cross my mind as a possibility. On the flip side of that, I would never opt for flying across the world for multiple years, sacrificing time that I could be building this relationship just to compete in the tier 2 Valorant scene, which, as we know, is literally a hellhole in the first place. We're also not taking into consideration how difficult it is to achieve these things. It's not like I have a choice to say, yeah, I'm going to go and fly to China. First of all, if I was to go down that path, we're talking 7 years of studying Mandarin. But on top of that, what about the actual grind that it takes to become a player worthy of competing at the highest level, even in Australia? Right now, there's teams absolutely destroying the scene, and these players are crazy. They're really, really good. At the rate that I'm improving at, I don't know, what is it going to take me? 2-3 years before I even get close to that? Then cool, after 2 years, I win an Australian competition. I make that 3,000 USD. And then from there, I travel to China, where I try and compete at that. And then I got to get to the highest level of the Chinese scene, and then maybe make an international. Even at that point alone, we got to ask ourselves, is this worth it? But it's not. We already know it's not, but I can keep going from there. We've now got to think about the potential time that I could have put into my coaching business. The amount of time that I could have put into it to grow it into something that not only helps and impacts more people's lives than a self-centered competitive career, but it also probably makes me more money than a competitive career ever could. It would allow me to focus on the gym, focus on my diet, focus on getting through the med withdrawals, focus on developing a relationship with my partner. It would allow me to enjoy life a little bit more, have some fun, take the edge off things, and on top of all of that, it would actually give me the financial freedom that I've been looking for in the financial pillar. I guess the conclusion that I came to is that the dream of competitive Valorant is merely a distraction and definitely isn't developing any of the 4 pillars. If anything, is actually taking away from them and taking away from their potential. So with that sound logic, I feel like it's pretty set in stone that we're not going to try and become a professional player. It's not the smartest thing to do right now. So where does that leave the main channel if I did continue? We're grinding for Radiant now, and we're grinding for this PNG. If you tell me to choose between developing the 4 pillars that I've been trying to develop for the last few years and a PNG in a video game, we all know what I'm going to choose. I just don't think it's worth it. I would rather go to the gym every day, build my business, spend time with friends and family, have a good life, get my mental health in order, push myself in meditation, and just do all the things that competitive Valorant takes away from. I have been hanging to get back out, own my own place, and build an environment that, you know, further encourages my own personal development, and I just can't justify playing comp. When I'm 21 in my prime years, I could be doing some crazy things, and if I've been able to achieve crazy things with the coaching business so far, giving it barely any effort, just 2 days a week max, like I can do so much more than that. Yeah, long story short, the mission that we've been on is just no longer serving us. To hold on to this any longer is simply limiting our potential, and the mission has served us up until a certain point. It's given us so much value, but the returns now are just simply diminished. And if we don't take the opportunity to jump ship and continue to evolve and continue to flow our way through life instead of trying to force one thing to work over and over again, and that's just not how the world works. The world, you can't control it. You're gonna get things thrown at you, and you just need to wrap around. Be water. Bruce Lee, be water. Karate Kid, you know what I'm talking about. This is me being water, adapting and not trying to continuously force the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. But to everyone that's been watching and has watched and has enjoyed the series up until now, I've got to say, I have never felt so much respect and love and appreciation in my life. You know, it's crazy when even the hate comments and the people that are just like, nah man, what are you doing? They always end up with a follow-up of like, but by the way, like, I love the journey, man. I just want the best for you. Like, literally, that's the worst I get, and it's crazy. And I don't know. I'm so grateful for that, especially all the people that really believed in me, the KoFi supporters, all you guys, the backbone of the channel. You guys have had an insane impact in my life and my journey, and will continue to do so forever moving forwards, just because of what you guys allowed me to achieve. And in terms of what we did achieve, I would say this is one of the most memorable things that, you know, you can't forget this. I'm not going to forget this. This is something I'll be telling my kids about one day. But yeah, nothing but love and appreciation to absolutely everyone. I'll leave all the videos up as a relic of history, even if it is just history of the hardest hard stuck player to ever get hard stuck. And that's the title I take. I'll take that. Okay. At least we did it. For the final time on this channel, peace out everybody. I love you all, and hope you guys continue your grind too.